Is there a therapist in the building? Come get him onto your floor, because this is not stable. It's Toma time! What is going on, guys? Toma Tales here. And today, I have probably the most insane, unreal story to tell you that I don't think you've experienced or heard anything quite like what I'm going to tell you today. The longer this video goes on, the more insane and the more plot twists come, so please, I advise you to stay to the end. And when I say this is probably the craziest thing you'll hear, I don't take that lightly. I hope you're ready. So, if you follow my YouTube, you might have seen the video where it's titled, you know, girlfriend cheats on boyfriend and tries to sneak back into his bed. Well, you guys don't know a lot about the context behind that video. And the person that this girl cheated on was with me. I am that person. I'm going to start from the very beginning to the very end to give you as much clarity so that you can understand the insanity that is still going on to this day and that will probably continue for my friend's whole lifetime. Now, a little bit of context before we get into all the craziness. This girl name is Maya. She lives in Austria. My friend and I, Elias, who will be one of the main characters in this video, you guys need to know who Maya is and the relationship Elias has with her and I had with her before we even met. So before we met, Elias had been talking to her on social media for about 8 months, you know, where they have gotten to know each other really, really well, basically declaring their love, falling in love with each other, and then, you know, they're supposed to meet up to, you know, see if they really like each other and take it a step further. And now I was brought into this because, of course, I'm going to be there when they meet, because this is a trip with Elias and I. He's going to come meet my dad with me. I'm going to come meet Maya with him. We're all going to have a good time. And so, you know, it started with Elias being like, all right, let's talk to this girl together and try and plan out this trip. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. The very first call with us three on the phone, there were already immense red flags with this girl. Now, on the first call, everything was normal, everything was neutral. But again, this girl is very attractive, and, you know, Elias wasn't being serious with her to this point. He was just like, this is an online girl, she's probably not, you know, serious about it either, so we'll just fuck around a little bit, and then maybe we'll see in person if she is serious. So, at this point, I'm just going into it, we're both having fun, we're both flirting a little bit, all three of us, and this was the first sign of this girl is scandalous and should not be taken serious. Because as we're all talking, she reads us a bedtime story or some shit, and Elias falls asleep on the phone, and now it's just her and me. And at this point, you know, what's going on in my mind is, I'm going to test this girl and see what she's all about. Because before this call, Elias would send me screenshots and tell me about how this girl didn't find me really attractive, would never sleep with me, you know, it's just going to be them two. And so I'm like, alright, let me test this girl out and see, you know, where her head is. And we begin to flirt a little bit. Now, I ask her basic questions, sexual questions, such as like, oh, like, what's your body count? What do you like to do? Like, you know, do you like to be fucked hard? Do you like to be choked? This and that. Just questions I asked her, and the responses were very, very eye-opening, because she was feeding into every single one of them, being like, hi, yeah, I really like being choked, actually, like, oh, I like that, yeah. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to Austria, I'm just gonna hit it. And that's my plan, because I could tell this woman was not to be taken serious. She was basically showing major whore flags. And she thought Elias was sleeping during this interaction we had together, but he wasn't. And after the call ended, he basically told me, alright, this girl is a whore. We can tell she's already being scandalous. She doesn't even know you. She's answering personal questions about her sexual experiences or sexual desires. And so, alright, Toma, you can smash it when we're there. I'm gonna smash it. We're just gonna treat this as a fun situation where we vacation for the weekend, see her, and we go back home and just, you know, have fun. And I'm like, alright, yeah, I'm down with that. Like, I can tell, you know, she's that kind of girl. We'll just have fun. Weeks pass, and we keep just FaceTiming sometimes, you know, we're like planning out the trip, and like, oh yeah, we'll all see each other, it'll be nice, it'll be fun. But at this point, Elias is getting a bit jealous, per se, of like, not jealous, but he can tell that this girl is not really loyal to him, which he'd been talking to her for like 8 months now, and the first time he brings a friend on FaceTime, which is me, she's already like kind of ditching him and talking sexually to me, when Elias really already told her he wants to just be with her, and she said the same thing. And so Elias is not really taking it serious anymore. He's like, alright, you showed me that this girl isn't really taking it serious either, so why don't you just, he's like, why don't you just, you know, start talking? I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to this girl. I'm literally gonna keep my distance. I don't want to text her every day like you do, and when we get to Austria, I'm just gonna hit it, and that's it. Because I don't want to talk to this girl. It's just a girl I'm gonna see in Austria, and I'm gonna leave. And that's all I wanted, and that's all I treated it. And I told her even on FaceTime, like, she kept saying, nah, I'm not gonna, because Elias was like, would you have sex with my German friend, this, and that. She's like, no, I would never. And she even told him, I promise you, he asked her, like, promise me you won't have sex with my German friend. And there's a screenshot of that where she's texted that. Elias screenshotted most of the things. There'll be a lot of screenshots. And she said yes to promising that she won't have sex with me. And so I'm taking this as a challenge at this point. This girl keeps saying I'm not gonna have sex, this, and that. Like, oh, I'm this almighty loyal girl. So I'm like, okay. So even on FaceTime, I told her, Maya, you can say what you want now, but when we're in person, it's gonna be a lot different. That's just how it goes with me. When you meet me, there's gonna be different feelings than online. So I barely talked to her. I told her I don't care for you. I don't see you as serious or anything, not even really like that, like Elias does. Just gonna get there, probably gonna smash, and we'll be cordial and I'll keep it moving. I literally told her this on FaceTime. And so, you know, we continue to talk a little bit, whatever, this and that. The months go by, and eventually it's time for the trip. And this is when part of the insanity starts. We get to Munich. That's where we were supposed to meet. Now, mind you, she doesn't live in Munich. She lives in Austria. But Elias and I, we decided to go to Munich for the Oktoberfest. She lives about a 7-hour bus ride away. So she takes a 7-hour bus ride to meet us in Munich. Mainly to meet Elias. I'm just like the side character, kind of documenting their love, their first time seeing each other, all this stuff. You know, I'm being friendly, nothing. So we meet, we get the little interaction on the first time meeting at the train station, which I'll show you now. Hey, bro. That is Maya, bro.
Oh, it is Maya. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you.
What's up? What's up? We gotta get the live reaction.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that is Maya, bro. And yeah, so that was the first time meeting, and you know, I say hello to her. Everything's cordial, everything's fine. She seems really nice, and you know, she's really just hanging on to Elias so far. Like, they're talking, you know, doing their thing. I'm just staying out of it. I'm like letting them live their life and be happy. Now, at the pizza place that we ate, we went to the pizza place. The man's here, the lady over here.
You should go to Italy.
We're just hanging out, and Elias takes me to the side. He's like, all right, Toma, like, I'm gonna hit it first, and then you can hit it. Because Elias did not want me to hit it first. He made that very clear. So I'm like, yeah, sure, like, whatever, we'll just do our thing. So he tells me that the day we first met, the first day. I'm like, all right, whatever. And so we hang out a little bit more, and at night we go to the club. Now, the timeline of the club is very, very important, because this girl is now claiming that I raped her. Let's start at the beginning. We go out to the club. We pregame a little bit. We're drinking whatever, just pregaming at the Airbnb. Just the Maya and I. Elias does not drink. So we're pregaming, and we get to the club at 11 p.m. Now, we have all the timelines set because Elias took videos during this time when we first got to the club, when, you know, all this stuff. He was sober the whole night, so he knows everything. So we got to the club, and the first shot she takes is at about 11:15 p.m. and the second shot she takes is at 11:30. She only had 2 drinks at the bar, at the club we were at. We're at the club. I'm not even with them. I'm doing my own thing. Elias and Maya are just like really romantically just all over each other, kissing and just, you know, telling them how much they like each other. And Maya's telling him, I really want to spend my life with you, my future, I love you so much. And Elias is saying, yeah, like, this could become something very serious as long as you don't mess up. He told her so many times not to mess around with other guys if she wants to be with him, if he should take her serious. I'll provide screenshots of that. He told her so many times, don't mess around if you want me to take you serious. And so I'm at the dance floor doing my own thing, letting them live their perfect little fairy tale life. Because, you know, I'm not going to interfere unless she wants me to. And at this point, I'm letting them do their thing. Now, we're at the club for a few hours, but we had the exact timeline. Alright, so we got back at 2:48 a.m. from the club. So she pre-gamed, and the last shot she had was at 11:30. Now it's 2:48 a.m. and this is when Elias and Maya go to their room, and I'm just chilling out in the living room doing my own thing. Now, at this point, I have no idea what they're doing. You know, Maya and I had been drinking that night. I'm just on FaceTime with someone else while they're doing their thing in the room. And the exact time, Elias, once again, he made a video, you know, at that time. So he's sending me all these times of when they got back and when they went to the room and whatnot. So they get in the room at 2:48 a.m. and he tells me that they had sex from 2:48 to about 2:55 a.m. He was having sex with her in the room. Now, she leaves the room at 3:10 a.m. Now, what you guys don't know is, I'm in the living room, and I text her. I say, what are you doing? Because I have no idea what they're doing, but obviously, you know, I'm drunk. I'm trying to smash. So I text her, what are you doing? She says, just hanging out. I'm like, alright, you should come out. She's like, okay, give me a moment. So she texts me, alright, give me a second. I'm like, okay, so I'm just chilling there. And so they get done smashing at like 3 a.m., 2:55. She comes out of the room at 3:10 a.m., 10 minutes after they get done having sex. She leaves the room 10 minutes later, and Elias is telling her, don't leave. She tells him she needs to go to the bathroom. And Elias is like, don't leave, like, just stay here, like, you don't need to go to the bathroom, you know, just stay. Like, he told her at least 3 times just to stay in the room, because in the back of his mind, he knew that if she left that room, she would not come back. That's pretty much what happened. At 3:10, she leaves the room, she walks into the living room, I'm right there, I'm like, you know, I'm on the phone, and we just have like a little giggle, and then she goes to the kitchen and drinks water. She doesn't use the bathroom at all. She just goes to the kitchen to drink water. And at 3:33 a.m., so 23 minutes after she leaves his room, Elias starts recording because he hears us basically making out. Now, during this whole interaction with her and I, Elias is recording everything. He's in his room, but he's holding his phone to the wall, listening to everything we're doing. And Maya and I, obviously, we don't know. We're trying to, you know, sneaky link next door. It takes this girl about, it takes this girl about 15 minutes to get in bed with me and start to make out. Now, mind you, I'm literally just laying in bed. She decides to lay next to me and start talking to me. And Elias is listening to everything, and I'm not putting the pressure on at all. We literally are talking so let's get the timeline. We start talking at 3:12 a.m. and we talk until 4:45. So we're talking for almost 2 hours, just talking. And what we're talking about is, I'm telling her like how good of a guy Elias is, like, you know, like if you treat him right, he'll really love you. And I'm even talking about, like, you know, helping her out with the gym, like just really talking to her, like, you know, getting to know her and telling her like how good of a guy Elias is, because he truly is. So we talk for about 2 hours. Now, mind you, the last drink she had is at 11:30, and it is now 4:45 a.m. And this is important, because her claims are that she was too drunk to consent to any sexual activity. Now, we talk for about 2 hours, and then we start having sex. Now, during this time of us having sex, I recall what happened. I know exactly what happened. But she decides that after it happens to lie about everything. And so let's keep it to when we're having sex. Now, when we were having sex, we did 3 different positions. She was kissing me all over my neck, and she arched her back like a porn star. These are all details that you need to know, because she's refuting them and she's lying about every single one of them to make herself seem more innocent, so that Elias will still love her after she fucks her best friend. So we have sex from about 4:45 to 5:10, so about 25 minutes. And after that, you know, she's like, alright, like, I gotta go back inside his room and you know, make it seem like I was never here. And I'm like, Maya, I'm telling you right now, I would not go back inside that room because Elias told her and me, if she ever does something with me, do not let her come back in my room. It is the most awful sign of disrespect.
What else?
Will you have a hissy fit if this guy kisses her in front of you or has sex with her?
No, I've told that guy plenty.
No hissy fit?
No, I've told that guy plenty of times that the possible outcomes of what's gonna happen. I don't want her sleeping in my bed if she gets all, you know, touchy with him.
So I told him, Maya, I'm telling you right now, if you go back in that room, it's gonna be bad. He's gonna just, you know, get very, very jealous, and you're disrespecting him by trying to sleep with him after you just slept with me and trying to cuddle up with him again. So I told her not to. She still did it. It is what it is. Now, from the clip, you'll see that she got caught, I got caught, we got caught together. And this is basically the confrontation.
Hey, how you doing? No. You ain't coming back in here.
Why?
No. You ain't
Why
coming
not?
back in here.
Let me sleep on the bed, please.
I want to say, first off, I'm not going to make a big deal.
Please
That
shut up.
being said, because I love you, go brush your teeth because she was making out with you when she rubbed my nut on her lips and mouth and she didn't wipe it off.
So?
So you kiss him?
Yeah.
That's fucking grimy, but...
Oh.
Maya, I really liked you. I really wanted something serious after
No, you
this.
did not.
I did.
No.
I did. When I first
don't
saw you, I
believe
saw
you
how
anymore.
sweet you were.
Yes,
I
but I
really
don't
wanted
believe you
something serious.
anymore.
That's your fucking problem. I'm
Yes.
sorry, but you can stay. You can chill, but I want to sleep.
Me too.
And you ain't, no, you ain't fucking
Yes, I
sleeping with me.
am. Yes.
No, you ain't.
Why not?
No, you ain't. How about you first?
Why the fuck are you always so fucking jealous?
Jealous? Bitch, I ain't having you after you just got piped down in my bed. I don't care. You ain't paying for nothing. You can. I don't care if you leave. I don't care if you stay.
Imagine.
I don't want to see you.
Imagine.
You're disgusting what you just did.
No.
You know how pure
Why?
it was? Do you know how pure it was when me and you first met at the train station? All this buildup? I could have walked in.
It was not fucking pure.
Let me
You broke
talk.
my
Let me
heart
talk. Let me
two
talk. Let me
times.
talk.
Let's do that inside.
Inside. I could have walked in. I could stop, but I was gonna stop my boy from having fun, and I'm never gonna go against him. I'm sorry, Maya, but you gotta make a decision. I found it. I really wanted to walk in when you guys started smooching, and because you know what happened. You grabbed my nut and you wiped it on your lips and your mouth and everything, and then you making out with him. That's kind of
I
grimy.
drank water in between.
No, that's kind.
Now, I didn't play it all because if you want to see it, you'll see it on the clip. Go to my channel. I got the full clip there. But basically after this, we go to sleep. And the next morning, I just go to sleep. We end up sleeping in the same bed. I don't touch her. I don't anything. I already did my thing. I didn't even, nothing. I just go to sleep because at this point, it is what it is. So I go to sleep. She goes to sleep. And we wake up. Elias wakes up way before us. He's, clearly distressed. He told me he didn't really sleep most of the night. So he leaves early out the house. And Maya's up with him at like 7 a.m. being like, oh, like trying to be like, what's wrong? This and that. Why are you being like this? And he's just like, he needs to leave the house because he's going to go nuclear. So he leaves. And then I wake up with Maya. And I'm just like, all right, Maya, I'm taking a shower. So I go to the shower. I take a shower. I come out. And she's like, I'm like, all right, Maya, you want to get some breakfast? Like, I got to eat something. And she's like, yeah, actually, I just hit up my friends, and we're going to go out to eat with them. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll go eat breakfast with your friends. So we're walking to the breakfast, and all she's talking about is how Elias will take me back. He'll know how much I love him, that it was just a mistake. Like, I'm like, yeah, maybe. It's just you don't know Elias that well. Like, he holds on to things like that very, very much so. She's like, no, like, trust me, I got this. He's gonna love me again. I'm gonna prove to him how much I love him. I'm like, okay, like, whatever. And we eat breakfast. Everything's fine. Her friends are really nice. And while we're eating breakfast, she kind of makes a whole joke out of the situation. She's like, yeah, I slept with him and him at the same night. Like, it was crazy. And her friends are just, like, looking at her like she's crazy because she is crazy. And her friends already know that. You know that one friend that's just completely nuts and her friends just tolerate it and just look at them with shame, but they still, like, love her because they're friends? That's who she is. And so she's, like, giggling about the whole situation, retelling what happened. And I'm just, like, sitting there, like, just minding my business, really, just letting them talk. And I'm just, like, whatever. She's really just giggling about cheating on him and with me and making it a whole joke. If you didn't see in the clip of the confrontation when he was like, oh, you should wash your mouth because I nutted on you. And then she was like, I drank water in between. and then she gives that nasty little, like, smirk.
That's kind of
I
grimy.
drank water in between.
And you can just see from the confrontation that she was like happy that she did that to him, happy that she broke this man's like heart basically. Like, Elias is such a nice guy, such like a simp. He's a simp. He's a nice guy. He treats women like they're queens. And that's why I say nice guys finish last, because she could tell at the club that he was a nice guy, that he was going to love her no matter what, that he was, you know, vulnerable. And if she thought that he wouldn't take her back, she would have never done it. It is important to note that this was a test for Maya. Elias told me if she passes this test, if she doesn't do anything with you, he will take her serious. And so this was a whole test for Maya. And Maya, I know you're watching this. You failed, and now you're not able to hold responsibility for what you've done. But let's continue. We go to brunch, hang out with the friends, everything's fine. We get back, and Elias is there. And that's when kind of shit hits the fan, because she won't leave Elias alone. She's telling him, no, let's fix this. I'm not leaving. Elias just wants her to leave so that we can spend the day together in Germany. We're only here for like a week. We want to do things. And this girl is just crying. This girl is saying, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until you forgive me, this, and that. She's being insane. She's being nuts. And so eventually, he throws her shit off the balcony.
I cannot leave like
See
this.
those crocodile tears? She's over
Yeah.
here crying now. She's all happy now.
I'm not happy.
Ma, you're not going to fix nothing. You're going to throw your shit out and you'll be really mad.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
And we basically ditch her. We get rid of her. We leave her on the streets where she belongs, because she would not leave, and we left her there. Now, Elias and I go through the whole day just doing our thing, and eventually she does not leave. She does not take the bus back. She does not take the bus back to Austria. She decides to just stay on the streets in Germany all day long. And it's now nighttime, and what are we supposed to do? Leave this girl alone at night in the streets? And this girl knew. Maya knew that if she stayed there until night, we would have no other choice. So she waits there all day, and at night, finally, Elias talks to her. And they have a talk. Now, at this point, she's never mentioning rape. She's never mentioning sexual assault. It's just her with her raw first emotions, first thoughts. She had no time to think or create an excuse at this point. And so this is how she acts the day after we slept together.
Look,
It's inexcusable.
I know, it is. Of course.
In a sense, I feel responsible for you.
I'm the worst person ever for doing that, I know.
Yeah, it's
like-
disgusting.
It's the
you know what
shittiest,
you know what
most disgusting, horrible thing I've ever done to
you know what it feels.
That's why I always went back to you, because I've never felt about anyone like this, and I was so scared. I was so scared.
So then you fucked my German friend,
Yes. Because I was so fucking scared.
You were scared of getting attached, so you went to the door next door, and you fucked my boy. And he doesn't give a fuck about you. Where is he now? He's not gonna side with you.
Of course.
Now, as you see, you know, she's taking responsibility. She's owning up that she made a mistake. She's a bitch. We all know that. Whatever. Now, the next day, she leaves. Elias takes her to the train station. Whatever. She's gone out of our lives, is what I thought. I was hoping. I was hoping she's gone. She's out of our lives, because she's not good for someone like Elias. Now is where things get really, really crazy, okay? So, now Elias and I are back in America, away from this girl. Elias had blocked her, but at the same time, Maya had told him that she'll book him a flight. She'll pay for the flight this time to get him back in Austria so they can figure everything out and keep moving forward with their relationship. Now, Elias was like, okay, if you buy me a ticket, I'll fly out. Even though I told him, do not fly back out. Do not fly back out, because this girl is super possessive, as you can see in the videos.
Just get off my bed.
Please, stop.
You're not even crying. You're fake crying.
I'm not crying. I'm fucking angry at myself. Please.
Get off my bed. No, I don't want you to cuddle with me.
Please, just for 1 minute.
No.
For 1 minute.
She is super possessive, and she is super, super insane, super attached, and it is dangerous. If you go there, she's going to control you, she's going to own you, and she's probably going to make you fall in love and make you make bad decisions. I told him all of this, but as I do with everything, I cannot force anything. I do not enforce anything. I just tell you what to do. And that brings me up to the moment we were having sex. When we were having sex, before that, I told her, Maya, I'm not going to do anything you don't want to do. If you want to do something, we can do it. And Elias told me as well, he heard me say that. He was like, Toma, like, you didn't put the pressure on at all. Like, I heard you say that, like, you're not going to do anything unless she wants to. And she wanted to. She was the one that when I put my leg over her when we were cuddling, she gave out a little moan. You know that thing when you're like cuddling with a girl and you put a leg on hers and they give out that, whatever. We don't need to get into it, but this girl was super feeling me. We were making out and she was kissing all over my neck. And that's just, I need to add that because of the allegations she's making and the screenshots of what Elias has of what she's saying about me. Because it is just, it is not good and it is very dangerous. Like, you can't just say stuff like that. And that's why I'm making this video exposing her. Maya, you need to know that I would have never, you know, told much about that night if you didn't start making lies to make Elias love you again. If you didn't say that I never kissed his neck, we never even made out, we didn't do other positions, I was just laying there, I couldn't move. If you didn't say all these crazy things to try and get Elias's love back, I would have never told him all the details about that night. And secondly, if you didn't go to the police, which she did, if you didn't go to the police and file a rape report, a sexual assault case, I wouldn't be here making this video. This is all your fault. It is your fault that you slept with me and that you basically ruined the relationship with Elias forever. Now, let's continue. So I tell Elias, do not go back to see her. Whatever. They agree to book the flight. Elias is going back to Austria. Now this is basically a month and a half after we just left. She books him a flight, and after we left, I still had Maya on Snapchat. We were still talking, like, sometimes just being like, hey, what's up? And she'd be like, nothing. And I'd be like, hey, we gonna hit it again? And she's just joking around. She'd be like, no, you know I love Elias, this and that. Everything was friendly, but she was still being a little flirty with me even after all that happened on Snapchat. Now, she still had me on Snapchat weeks after what happened, and she unadds me weeks after when Elias tells her, do you still have him on Snapchat? And she's like, yes. He's like, why would you have him on Snapchat if you're talking all this shit about him, if you hate him? And obviously, he tells her, like, you know, you like unadd him, like, how can we be together if you keep this guy on Snapchat that you let hit? Because at this point, Maya gave me the forever W and gave Elias the forever L. What happens if they have a child? And that child asks, how did you and Toma meet? Because he hit. It's like, this will forever live on in their legacy. And so Maya really had no respect for Elias, no respect at all, to let me sleep with her, knowing that Elias and I are best friends and probably will be for the rest of our lives. She has no respect, she has no dignity for herself, and she's just a flat out whore. Now let's continue. So Maya and I, finally she unadds me off Snapchat weeks after it happened, and at this point, she's making up a lot of lies about that night, which I'll provide screenshots. She's basically saying, he raped me, I couldn't move, I was just laying there defenseless, he dragged me into the room. Bro, I can't believe all the things she was saying. Like, she's saying I dragged her from Elias's room into the couch, into the living room. You think Elias would let that happen? He's just sitting there? No, Elias asked you 3 times to please not leave the room. And I'm just laying on the couch. This girl comes out and she decides to lay into my bed. I'm not going into her bed. She's saying the craziest things. And it's really like, it's getting under my skin because things like this, things she's saying about me, the person she's portraying is someone I would never be. I would never want to be. It's disgusting. As she's saying these things about me, Elias is asking me, hey, did this happen? Did this happen? What really happened? And I'm telling him the truth of everything. And obviously he believes me because I have no reason to lie. She has all the reason to lie because she wants him to love her again. So obviously Elias believes me and he's telling her what I'm saying. And she's getting so mad. She's getting so mad. Toma, why do you keep ruining our relationship? Stop ruining our relationship. I hate you. Leave us alone. And I'm like, Maya, if you're going to make lies about me, I'm going to tell the truth. And so, you know, we've been on FaceTimes during that time, all 3 of us just kind of talking about everything. But eventually she realizes that Elias is not going to love her unless she figures out a way to make it seem like she didn't want to have sex with me. So that's when she starts thinking. And that's when she does the craziest thing that I did not expect. Now mind you, before she does this, the day before She goes to the police and talks to the officers and files a report. I'm on FaceTime with her and Elias, and I'm basically roasting the fuck out of her. Like, I am going at her, like, hard. Because this girl has now lied about everything that night, and has, you know, as you've seen, talked the most shit and made the most lies about everything and treated Elias like a piece of dirt. And so I'm roasting the hell out of this girl. Like, I'm going at her. And just listen to a few of the things that's going on here. These clips right here, I wasn't even roasting her. This was just after she filed a police report, how the interaction went. Because at this point, it was tense. I was like, this girl really went to the police after I roasted her just because I made her that mad? This girl truly runs on emotions only.
I'm not gonna file anything if my boyfriend stands up for me now and is on my side.
So, let me, you said if he stands up for you, you're gonna drop...
Go away, please.
You're gonna drop the sexual assault charges if he stands up for you? I just, like, Maya...
Of course. I don't give a fuck about you. I just want you gone, and I want him to be with me.
Now, what you hear in that recording was very important for me to get, because it shows that she truly just wants to either put me in jail, or probably even she wants me dead. She's told me multiple times she wishes I was dead so her and Elias can live their life. Now you can hear clearly that all she wants is her and Elias to be together, and she knows that if I'm in jail or dead, he doesn't have to think about it. He doesn't have me, I can't tell him anything anymore. And so this girl is so selfish, so delusional, so disgusting, that she's willing to go to the police, willing to want me to die, just so that I cannot tell my friend the honest truth of what happened. And that's what you heard in the recording. I asked her, so Maya, if Elias agrees with you and Elias loves you, you'll stop the charges? She was like, yes. This girl is insane. She turned to a demon in this phone call, a demon. Maya, how can you expect him to do that? Why not? I literally took care of you after that night because Elias was mad at you for cheating on him, and this is how you treat me?
Oh my god!
We literally went to lunch, chilling, you introduced me to all your friends. Ugh, whatever. After that phone call, I have not talked to her since. We've not been on the call. I don't care about this girl. I really just want to leave this girl behind. Leave her in 2022. Her character should have died out after the trip. She should have been forgotten and gone. Remembered as a whore, forgotten as a whore. But with Elias being the lover boy and the nice guy he is, he fucked up bad. During that trip that Elias took to Vienna, Austria, Elias did what I thought he was going to do. He kind of fell in love and he fucked up. And while he was there, Elias stupidly decided to hit it raw and nut inside of her 8 times. At this point, it is just so hard for me to have any respect for Elias or Maya. Because Elias, this girl, I've told him this many times. We still talk every day. I told him, Elias, you're going to let this girl disrespect you, treat you like a little child, cheat on you, lie about everything. Let me hit raw as well. We both hit it raw that night. And then you're going to fucking go back and give her what she wants, nut inside of her 8 times after you know she's a psycho bitch? I couldn't believe it. And what's even more shocking is, she's pregnant now with Elias' child. And how do we know? First, Elias didn't believe it. She said she did the test. It came back, whatever, positive. And so he was iffy. But a few days later, he just got back to me and told me she got an ultrasound and she's pregnant with his child. Now imagine you have a child with this girl. And in the video, in the clip I showed you, he said she's for the streets.
And it sucks because we would have been such a good couple, such a good young family. It would have been beautiful, but it really, I don't know, it hurts. But she's for the streets, so she got to sleep in the streets.
Elias, she's not for the streets, she's for you now. She should have been for the streets, but you gave her what she wanted. All she wanted was, she wanted Elias to get her pregnant. That was her #1 goal, so he could never leave her. This video is really just, I don't give a fuck about this girl. This girl is simply content for me. I told her that before we even met. I told her I'm going to smash and I'm going to make content out of it. I told her that, and it's still true to this day. I really don't care for you, Maya. I don't like you. I didn't have a problem with you until you took it to the rape allegations. We were cordial until you realized I had to get out of the way for you and Elias to be happy. And now I don't like you. I can't stand you because you made bad allegations about me. And for me, Maya is just content. For you viewers, Maya is an example of what never to look, touch, or anything. She's a perfect example what to avoid as a woman. Do not look at a woman like this. And I hope you guys can learn that, because for Elias, he might have to spend the rest of his life with her. She's telling him you need to move in. She's telling him you need to take care of the baby. You need to see the baby for holidays. She wants him to move in with him to Austria. And Elias is most likely going to, because she's rich, her family's rich, and he's going to live the easy life with the girl that I had sex with, that I conquered, that I did what I wanted and just left her because I don't care. She was used like a rag, and now Elias is wifing her. And she's definitely not wife material. Another thing I didn't mention was during the sex, she claimed to just be laying there like a starfish. How would I know this if I was lying about everything? That she's very flexible and her legs were literally pointed from east to west, perfectly like this. I've never seen it before in my life. Usually they're like this. No, it was like this. She opened her whole portal for me, and I don't even care about her. But it's just disgusting, and this video is really the last time I'll talk about Maya. I'll talk about your guys' relationship, because I truly just don't like it. It's bad energy. It's negative energy. And it's like Elias talks to me about her. I'm like, Elias, I don't want to hear this. I feel bad for you. I hate that this happened. And truly just, it's over. Like, please leave me out of it. I don't want to, be involved with it. And, another thing is, while we were having sex, Elias was obviously recording. So tell me if this sounds like a girl who was being raped, who couldn't move, who couldn't do anything, who I dragged into the room. Yeah, it's just, obviously I'm not going to play a lot more of the events. We were obviously whispering, we were trying to be quiet, and I'm not going to just put everything on YouTube, but for the allegations she's made and the things she said, I'll at least give you guys a little moan so you can understand that. Make your own judgment. Is that a moan of displeasure or is that a moan of pleasure? Now, this girl has admitted that, my body is unreal, that she likes being choked, she likes being slapped, she likes all of that she liked me having sex with her in a sense of it being primal. All of this she admitted to one of her close friends, and he told Elias. This girl has no real friends. To her, to all of her friends, she's a clown and she's a scandalous woman. They don't respect her, and that's why, friends will tell Elias what really happened. Because this girl doesn't really have friends. She just has acquaintances that listen to her bullshit day in and day out. So that's how we have so many of these screenshots of all the things she's admitting to in closed doors, thinking Elias won't hear it, but Elias heard everything and I heard everything, and you guys are hearing everything of all her lies and her disgusting bullshit. That's really all I have to say. Going forward, she's pregnant, a couple weeks now. They're gonna probably move in. She bought him a PlayStation 5 in Austria so that when he visits, she already booked him another flight for February. She paid for another flight, and yeah, he has a PlayStation waiting for him in Austria, and soon he'll have a future with her waiting in Austria. That's really all I have to say. Before this video ends, please subscribe and give me a big, and Toma Tales, toodaloo. Rest in peace, Maya. Rest in peace, Maya.